with visualization because they're not spiritual enough or they can't see. People will tell you that. They will say, oh, I'm not a seer, so I can't see, but that's bullshit. They struggle because deep down, they don't believe that they're worthy of what they're trying to picture. Does that sound like you? Does that make sense to you? I am reading from my notes, just so you know. So if you don't believe it's possible, your mind cannot conceive it. Your mind will not let you see it. And if you can't see it, you can't receive it. Visualization requires faith. It's so hard to create a mental image of something you've secretly convinced yourself won't happen. That's why we must work on belief before we try to manifest the vision. Because if you don't believe it, you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to visualize it. And so the thing about it is, we think about it as like, we struggle in so many areas to visualize. And so many of us have awakened and are at a place where we know that we are actually gods, that God is in us, as us. And so we are designed to be able to create. We are creators. And so why you struggle to visualize and how to strengthen your belief to manifest powerfully is something that I have been meditating on probably the last week or so. And so I decided to bring it forth on YouTube, and I actually did another video yesterday or day before on belief. And go back and watch that. Check it out. Matter of fact, I will link it to this video. And so I'm just excited to be here. Welcome back to my channel, all you beautiful souls. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm unpacking something that that's been coming through strong. This thing has really been grabbing me because I felt it so strongly because I've been there. Why so many people struggle with visualization and what's really going on underneath. And so the thing is we know that there are many thousand billion techniques. And so today's video is not about that because there are so many techniques. You can do the 777, you can do the 369, you can light candles, you can create rituals around it, you can burn things, you can release things, and these things are all valid things to do and things that we should do. However, today we are talking about your belief because I'm going to tell you a little bit about the real reason that visualization isn't working. Because most people think that they need to try harder to see the vision. And I was there. That was me. I was like, oh God, I'm trying to visualize. And it almost felt like I was forcing a visualization, trying to visualize and trying to, get it together and, doing all these different techniques and all of these kind of things. And girl, I'm trying to tell you, it's not in the techniques. It's in the belief. Because the truth is, you can't consistently visualize what you don't believe that you deserve or can receive. So get it in your mind that this thing that you're trying to visualize is something that is already yours. Yeah, and that's fine. It's YouTube. Things live for decades on YouTube. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. All right, let me get back to what I'm talking about. Okay, so the mind actually protects you from disappointment by blocking the vision of what it thinks isn't safe or true. So if you don't believe it, then your mind is going to block that so you can't even visualize it and you can't even see it. And so the thing about it is belief has a power. Belief creates the container for the vision to exist. So when you sit down and you start thinking about things that you desire, how do you tell yourself that this thing is mine? This is what I desire. I'm going to use the example that I use right now because I desired this house and I have this house now. I am in this house. You see, there's nothing on my walls yet. I'm still working on putting it together. However, I visualized this thing and we manifested it. Why? Because there had to come a time and a place within me that I began to believe that it was possible. Because there were different times over periods of time that I didn't really think we could do it. I didn't think it could happen for us. And so if you feel like that, this is the problem. It's like you have to, whatever you need to do in order to understand and believe that this thing can happen, because the subconscious mind needs that permission to dream. Now, I did some videos on permission already on this channel, so you can go back and look for those, because they were phenomenal. I might actually have it in a playlist, I think. But it was phenomenal because it was something that, I got. You have to give yourself that permission because of the ways that so many of us have been conditioned, so many ways that we've been brought up, we've been raised. We have been raised to, not allow ourselves or think that we have to get permission from something outside. But we don't. We have to give ourselves permission and get it from the inside. It's an inside job, y'all. And so when you think about it, if deep down you believe that's not for people like me, your self-sabotage, you will self-sabotage your own vision without even realizing it. And that's something that came to me, because I felt like for me, I was self-sabotaging myself at every turn just because of things that I couldn't see, I couldn't believe, because I've always been a visualizer. I've always done that from a child, but when I couldn't see things, that let me know it was because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. So how to rebuild your belief? So one of the things you want to do is you start small. Visualize something believable and work your way up. Like, do you believe that you can get a parking space when you're driving around and you're trying to find a space? You're at the mall or at, a place where it's a big parking lot, Costco. Let's say Costco, because, that's where we go. You're at Costco and then, 25,000 people are at Costco that day. And so there's hardly no parking. If you can believe and you can visualize, and you can do this in like 10 seconds, like really. Some people do visualizations at the traffic lights. I do. Do a visualization. So if you can believe and you can visualize that you can get a parking space, that is a simple thing. You just visualize that a parking space opens up. And I'm telling you, when you start doing that, that's a little thing. You start doing that, then you continue to work on smaller things that, are believable for you, because you might not be able to believe that you can get $1 million. You might not be able to believe that. That might be something that's outside of the scope of what you can believe. And so you won't be able to visualize that. But when you start small and you start visualizing little things, that I can get a parking spot, that I can get a doctor's appointment in a reasonable time, all kinds of things that help to build that belief muscle, because your belief is a muscle. Another thing you can do is you can do some inner healing. You can journal on the root of disbelief. When did you learn it wasn't safe to want more? For many of us, when you start journaling on that, it will bring back a cornucopia of things that, happened to you in your life, reasons why, that you feel like you can't believe, that you can't believe that you can have whatever it is that you desire, what you say. You can look at that and you can get evidence. And so you want to begin to really affirm, reinforce your new beliefs, whatever you have created, because now these are beliefs that you are creating. It is safe for me to receive. I am allowed to dream big. My desires are divine. Mine is, I will go big. I will speak my truth regardless. I'm going big. I'm speaking my truth. I'm sharing my wisdom. So you also want to visualize with emotions. So you don't want to just see it. You want to feel it. You want to speak it. You want to become it. And I have some things that I've been visualizing and I cannot wait to share with you guys. But it's just amazing because I have found this gift of belief. And it took all of these little things, you know, like visualizing the parking space, visualizing, you know, that I'll find something to wear when I go shopping, you know, visualizing that, you know, that we would be able to get this house, and we did. You know, and so many things. Like, we have so many things, so many things. And then you want to reignite your vision. So after you restore belief, and how you do that is just like I said, small things that you can believe in. You know, people go way big, you know, like maybe you can believe that, you know, an extra $100 will be in your bank account. You know, maybe you can believe that. You know, maybe you can believe that, you know, you'll get a third check in a month. Maybe you can believe that. Or maybe you can believe that, you know, some of your bills are paid or whatever, you know, little things that will strengthen your belief and make you know that you can believe, you can visualize, and you can manifest. And so after your belief is restored, clarity is going to naturally come. You're going to naturally gain clarity. And I love that for you. Your vision will go from blurry and distant to bright and magnetic, because now your whole being is in agreement with what you're calling in. So it's not like a disconnect there, not like a disconnect. So you don't feel the disconnect. And that's something that happens with so many of us. So if you've been frustrated because your visualizations feel flat or blocked, I want you to know it's not your fault. It is not your fault. Go back to belief. Heal the root. Strengthen your faith. Then watch what opens up. So what I want to know is, and I would love it if you would drop it in the comments, what beliefs are you shifting today so your vision can come alive? What beliefs are you shifting this day so that your beliefs can come alive? And if you've been here watching, I thank you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe with someone who needs to unlock their inner vision again. You know people. We all know people. So share this video with them so that it can help them to unlock their inner vision again, to enliven them, to enlighten them. You know, this is what I'm talking about. And I am so excited to just share this with you guys. If you would like to have some help, I have a membership, and this is exactly what we are doing. Supporting one another, loving on one another, giving guidance, all of these things, learning about our gifts and how to embody and manifest and live an amazing life. Because so many people out there are doing work that they don't enjoy. You know, it's just a thing, y'all, and it's time for it to stop. So I'm inviting you to my membership. Remember who the fuck you are. And it is a conscious community where we support and uplift one another. I am so excited about it. I do Zoom calls once a month where we come together, and sometimes I do some extra ones. But the other thing is too, is when you join, you'll have an opportunity to get a session with me. So everybody in the community, I'll put it inside of a thing and draw a name so that that person gets an opportunity to have a session with me for free, just for being a part of the community. So remember who the fuck you are. Check out the links in my description. I have Amazon links in my description. I am an affiliate, so I do get a small commission. I would love it if you would check out some of those products, because those are things that I actually use. I'm actually going to add some more. But then also check out my Stand store, where the link for Remember Who the Fuck You Are membership is. I also have lots of free and paid resources in there. I would love it if you would check some out. I have a forgiveness letter that is phenomenal. It really changed my life. You know, when I sat down and I did it for a few people. I didn't have that many people, just a couple of people. And that, it changed my life. And I think it also probably shifted theirs as well. I don't know, because I don't talk to them. But yeah, so just that. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a blast as usual, and I hope that everything is magical in your world. And if it's not, come and join me and Remember Who the Fuck You Are, my membership. And it's $47 a month. So I'm not gatekeeping. $47 a month to come on, to join us, You know, you also have access to me, which is another thing, the energy that I bring. So again, thank you for joining. This is Tammy Morrison signing off, Intuitive Tammy with a $1 billion voice. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, weekend, whatever it is. Much love. Bye.